Hi, welcome to Being Mindful. I'm Susan, and I'm a licensed mental health counselor. And on this channel, I share meditations on lots of different topics. In the meditation that I led today, the request was for something about relaxation to help when you're feeling keyed up. I don't know how familiar you are with that idiom, but when we're sort of on edge, when we are feeling anxious about something, um, we tense up around it. And so this meditation is meant to help with relaxation of tensed up muscles. So let's get started. I tend to close my eyes during meditation because it kind of helps me to focus my remaining senses a little more intentionally, I think. But if closing your eyes is not comfortable, it's fine to have them open. And I like to begin with movement. I think sometimes we think when we meditate, we have to be completely still, but it's actually fine to stretch, to work out any kinks you might have, and make your way into a meditation posture of your choosing. I think a lot of the folks who join me for meditations tend to be sitting in chairs. And so, however you are positioned, take a moment to notice whatever is supporting your body and your contact with that. So, not just noticing that it's happening, but actually feeling that contact, the pressure between your body or your feet and whatever is beneath you. And you may already be finding that your mind wants to be elsewhere, that your mind is not terribly interested in noticing these details of what's happening right now. But if you can allow whatever thoughts that are there to be there, don't fight with them, don't try to make them go away. They just push back more. But see if you can move them into the background. It's as if you were taking a photo and the subject of your photo is focused and everything in the background is just softly focused, a little bit fuzzy. We're allowing the swirl of our lives to move into the background and get a little bit fuzzy while we focus on what's happening right now. We can notice the movement of breath within the body. We don't have to breathe more deeply or count or hold our breath. We're just breathing and noticing that we're breathing. And sometimes when we meditate, relaxation happens just because we're slowing down and allowing ourselves to focus on the present. But it doesn't always happen. So if our goal for meditation is relaxation, that can be sometimes a little bit counterproductive because we end up chasing relaxation or clinging to it if we get it for a moment. Relaxation can be a byproduct of meditation, but it's not the primary goal of meditation, even if the meditation is about relaxation. Our goal is to simply notice what's happening right now and try to approach it with curiosity rather than evaluation. Sometimes we might seek relaxation because of a physical sensation that we're experiencing. And it might be biological in origin. We've got tight muscles from having worked out, or there's a knot in the shoulders, a kink of some sort. That there's a physical discomfort that has a physical reason behind it. And other times, the physical tension that we experience is resulting from some sort of emotional stressor. That we find ourselves overwhelmed by work, overwhelmed by the news, overwhelmed by the circumstances of our lives. And our bodies actually tense up almost in preparation for protection from some unknown threat. Or perhaps our bodies are gearing up for some sort of action that isn't actually happening. So, whatever the source of any tension that you feel, the solution, the remedy, is the same. We can notice whatever thoughts are accompanying that tension. Allow those to move into the background too, to get fuzzy. And really focus on the physical sensation of tension. So pick a spot in your body to pay attention to. You might feel tension in more than one place, but do a little scan and figure out where your tension is the most prominent. And let's show it some loving attention at this moment. Once again, we're exploring this tension without trying to resolve it yet. And we're looking at it with curiosity, again, rather than judgment or evaluation. We're just seeing what's there. Noticing its physical qualities as if we have never experienced tension before. Sometimes in mindfulness meditation, we call this beginner's mind. No preconceived notions, We're looking at it as if for the first time. What does it actually feel like? How much space does it take up? What muscles are involved? Is there any movement to it? Does it change from moment to moment? Or is it relatively constant? Does it have a color? Or a shape? And then let's see if we can work with it. See if we can relieve a little bit of that tension, which may or may not happen, but it'll be fun to experiment, won't it? One thing we can try is a miniature progressive muscle relaxation, except it's not really going to be progressive so much because we're focusing on just one spot. But the technique being used here is that we identify the muscle groups that are being engaged through this tension. And go ahead and tighten it even further than it's already tight. So engage that muscle group and hold it as tight as you can, squeezing, breathing, and then let go. What we're doing is noticing what it feels like to be even tighter. And then by releasing that extra tightness, it can help our bodies understand, if muscles can understand anything, what it has to do to release tension, and then what it feels like to have the tension released. So let's tighten that muscle group again, holding it, squeezing, breathing, noticing what it feels like to have those muscles engaged so tightly, and then let go. Breathing, noticing. I think it can also be helpful to notice or remember that when we breathe in, we're essentially expanding muscles. We are kind of rising up, holding tension. And then when we exhale, we have to release muscles We have to deflate the lungs in order to allow the air to move out of the body. And so if it's helpful, you can take some deeper breaths, hold each one, and then allow the body to drop, allow gravity to take effect with each out breath. And the muscle group that you were focusing on may or may not be engaged with the breath. But if we've been experiencing stress, we tend to hold that tension in our core, in the neck or the shoulders, the back, the abdomen, the chest. And these are the very areas that are touched and moved by the breath. And even if your tense spot is not in your core, by relaxing the core, other parts of the body tend to follow. So let's experiment with this deep in breath, holding and letting go. Maybe even with a little bit of sound as you breathe out. With each breath, notice the expansion of the core, the rising of the shoulders. With each out breath, noticing the release. Taking a moment to move your body in whatever way might feel good, might help to remove, relieve some of that tension. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But a rolling of the shoulders or neck, a gentle stretch. Noticing once again, whatever is supporting the body, allowing yourself to feel grounded and supported. If your eyes have been closed, you can begin to open them gently and take in your surroundings and prepare to reflect on your experience. See how you can carry it into your day. As we reflect on that experience, I'd ask you to notice how your body is feeling now that the meditation is over. If you are willing, I'd love to hear in the comments what you experienced, what that was like for you. And feel free to look in the comments for reflections from others. If you're not already subscribed, I hope that you'll consider doing that so that you can be a part of future meditations. If you especially liked this one, you could add it to a playlist so you can come back to it later, or maybe even share it with someone that is important to you. I will leave some resources for you here at the end, some links to additional playlists and videos. Thanks so much for being with me, and have a wonderful day.